Violent
Thank
Night
you.
is hilarious and a lot of great action. And, there's a lot of similarities to Die Hard. And of course, you were in Die Hard too. Did that feel like kind of a full circle moment? Because you went from being the smaller mercenary to being the big bad guy pulling all the strings.
Yeah, it's crazy, full circle, and in a way, redeeming, because I was really cast as terrorist number one. I know it doesn't sound very impressive, but in my audition, because I was on video, but when they brought me on set, and I stood next to all the other guys who were all 6'3" and buffed, and I'm just, I'm a I'm a petite man, I'm a short king, and they demoted me to terrorist number 7, so that was kind of very disappointing and sad for me back then. But here I am, and I'm the villain of it. It's very exciting
Yeah,
turn
and
of
you do a
events.
great job. And
Oh, thank.
there's a lot of comedy here. There's some great Christmas puns. How was it getting to flex your improv skills some? Because it seemed like everybody was having a blast with all the dialogue.
We were having so much fun, man. I'm not gonna lie. I laughed so hard. I ruined a lot of takes, laughing at others, laughing at myself too. I have that problem. I do laugh at my own jokes, and but it was fun, man. We really had a blast. We enjoyed our times off camera, on camera. I loved more being off camera because I could laugh, as best I could. But because Edie has some great jokes. David Harbour is very funny, Alex Haskell, Alex Lauder. Everybody was so good, man. We just laughed at Tommy. You could hear Tommy laughing, the director, a lot of times in ruining takes.
That's awesome. And I was really surprised like how bloody and intense the fight scenes were. And you and David Harbour really get physical. He's a big dude, and that physicality really shows in the final product. So how was he as an acting partner getting to go toe to toe with him?
Wow, he is 6'3". He gained all that weight for Santos. I guess he might have been close to 300 pounds, 3 lbs. Yeah, I was worried. I'm not gonna lie, but I trained extra. I went there an extra month early, trained every weekend, and then trained with David. I was afraid because he is big, but I was quick, and I had my moves, and I told him to make me look, quick and cool, so I look believable. That this little guy is fighting that big guy, and that I could possibly win.
Yeah, and the death scene for your character is just so brutal. What was your first reaction when you saw that? Because like everybody in the theater was going crazy.
I know, but it was the wrong kind of crazy. I thought they would be sad or something. Everybody was jumped to their feet. They were screaming with joy. And I was like, oh, that was kind of sad the way I died, mutilated as I went through the chimney. I mean, it was so violent, so horrific. And, it's me, but it's not me, but it is me. So I can't help but feel like, you're wrong.
This is a bit of a deep cut, but 20 years ago, you were in the 2003 video game Rayman 3. You voiced Glowbox. Do you have any memories of participating in that? Like, you have some great lines in that game.
Yeah, yeah. I had fun. I punched up a lot. I did a lot of ad libs and stuff. Yeah, no, it was fun. It was blast. It was easy back then because it was just voiceover, and it wasn't ADR, like for regular cartoons, animated movies, you have to, really work hard at giving it shape, and they videotape you, and you have to give it emotion, and then you have to ADR lines when they draw it first, and then you have to change, you have to try to match your lips. This, it was free, just free fall, just make up stuff, and they just add it everywhere.
That's awesome. And you've worked with one of my favorite directors, Baz Luhrmann, on two
Uh,
incredible movies. And
his
what
best.
stood out? Yeah, what stood about working with him, because he's one of the few directors that have that auteur label, and there's
Yes.
nobody else quite like him.
No, no, Baz Luhrmann, it's a well-deserved title for him, auteur, because he writes, creates, directs. He's the most collaborative person I ever worked with, the most generous, kind, nurturing director I've ever worked with. And he just makes everybody feel like they're the most invaluable part of the piece of the project. And I loved it. I learned so much from his process. You know, he does long rehearsals, 2 weeks for Romeo and Juliet, a month for Moulin Rouge, We did readings once a week of the script as it changed and changed and changed. So it was so fun to be a part of his process. And he includes you, and he's very transparent. No, it's one of the greats of our time.
And you're on like a really great run here. Like not only Violent Night, the menu was so great, and your character in that was a washed up actor, but you're doing some of the best work of your career. You're finding these interesting roles. So
Yeah.
how have you managed to like keep up that momentum so many decades into your career?
Well, I love the craft, so I'm a craftsman. I love the art, and I focus on the art, and I think that's what saves me and gives me longevity and helps me stay relevant. I'm very involved politically. I'm very involved socially. I read a lot. I study film. I keep going to my acting classes. And I think you have to be like an athlete, like you're a tennis star or something. You have to constantly keep working on your serve. Can't just sit back there and eat bombs and watch TV. You got to work on your game, and I work on my game.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about, just like you said, you're staying active with the community, you're involved with activism. How important is it that, you have this platform to use it for good causes in the spotlight, important stuff that's going on?
It's very important to me because I feel like as a Latin man in America, we get a raw deal, and we contribute $2.8 trillion to the U.S. economy. If we were our own country, we'd be the fourth largest country in the world, bigger than London, bigger than most European countries, and that's just Latinos in the U.S. And we're less than 4% of the leads in all media, but we're 30% of the box office, $4 billion in streaming, and we're still like the least represented minority in the country when we're in the largest ethnic group, oldest ethnic group. It's just not fair until things are fair and equal, until we have 20% of the roles, 20% of the executives, 20% of the stories on film, TV, and books. I'm not happy because I want every young person to have an opportunity who's Latino. There's too much talent that gets wasted and squandered. I've seen it happen time and time. Rita Moreno was an EGOT before an EGOT was a thing, and she rarely worked. They never wrote roles for her. They never wrote things for Latin people. They would never change a white role and make it a Latin person. Now they understand that that's the secret formula. Pick any part. Take Top Gun. Put a Latin person in the lead. Boom, you got a Latin Tom Cruise. That's all you need is the role and the script that's great.
Yeah, perfectly put. And then my last question for you. It's been interesting seeing, 1993's Super Mario Brothers, just how perception has changed during my lifetime. Because at first, like there was a quasi-ironic appreciation, but now as time goes on, like there's a legitimate love and admiration for that film. Is like I guess people just got over the differences from the game. How has it been seeing, a newfound appreciation for that movie?
Well, I love the way you say an ironic sort of love for the flick. Yeah, it was interesting. It was the first video game movie. Everybody was upset that it didn't match the exact Game Boy thing, and maybe they should have thought of that a little bit more when they constructed the flick. But I'm glad that people love it. I mean, Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper have passed, rest in power. They were beautiful, beautiful actors, and sorely missed. And I'm sorry they didn't get to see this resurgence of the love for the movie. Like it's got redemption. There's another movie, A Wonderful Life. When it first came out, it was a bomb. It got critically attacked, and then it became a classic for the ages. So you never know.